We are live. Let me get the comments loaded in here. And we will get started here in just a few minutes. Let me get back to my cameras. All right, we've got comments loaded in. Let me switch back to me. Welcome everyone. Happy Friday. It is Friday, July 12th, and it is now 12:01, so I'm a minute late. But anyways, welcome. I'm so glad you all are here, and we're going to give it about 2 or 3 minutes to let those stragglers join us. If you are here and you would like to announce yourself, please do so. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, and if you haven't subscribed yet, welcome. Please subscribe and hit that bell, which will remind you every time that I upload a new video. And if you're on Facebook and you enjoy the project that we're going to be making today, if you would share that with your crafty friends, family, or whoever else, that would be marvelous as well. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd like to share my crafting with everybody that I can. And if you're from new, somebody just learning out, or experienced, I typically have stuff that everyone can do. It just depends on the level. And if not, you can watch my videos over and over if need to, so that you can get the directions if I don't provide a actual written template. So, all right, so we're just going to give it a few minutes. It's 12:02 on Friday. I am Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm coming to you all from hot, humid Fort Myers, Florida. And it has been a bear. It did rain a little bit this morning, so that helps some. Hey, Karen Yo. Hello. Karen, I said Karen Yo. Karen Joe. Did you like my, I saw your comment on Riley's thing. Oh my gosh, I swear. I didn't post the picture. Well, I'll post it tomorrow. But the nice thing about that dog carriage thing is that I can wheel her right up next to the chair or the bed that the person's laying in, so they can pet her without me having to pick her up and, you know, put them in their lap and all that other stuff, or hold her. Because normally, depending on the person, I usually will hold Riley, because sometimes you're not sure what they're going to do. But we were in this one lady's room who loves dogs, and her bed was made. She had her clothes on and everything. She was just laying on her bed. She loves the dog. So we come in, and I've got Riley in the stroller next to the bed, and she's petting her and stuff, and we're chatting. I've got the activities director there, and all of a sudden we hear this thump, and look over. Riley jumped into the bed and was laying next to the lady. So we snapped a bunch of pictures so that the activities director could send pictures to her daughter. So I will post that tomorrow, but I want to block out her face because it's, you know, just not appropriate for me to share that. So I will post that picture tomorrow on the Facebook page. Welcome everyone. Welcome Shar. How you doing? I know it does. I always said I would never put the dog in those doggy carriages, but when they get older and I have to lift her up, and I've got an appointment scheduled for Tuesday to see the vet. Hopefully, I think she's got some fluid around her lungs. So I'm hoping they can either drain it or they can give me something to help alleviate, or get rid of it. And so, and every time I pick her up, then it kind of shifts things around, and then she starts coughing. So, and I don't want to do that. And these are like hospital floors. So, for her to walk 3 hospital floors is a lot. Plus, she's limping on her right leg and whatever. She's getting old like everybody else, But she loves it. She just sat there when I put her in there. She sat there, turned around, looked at me, and said, "Okay, let's get going." And she just sat there. She loved it. And the nice thing for me is usually when we walk, I got to walk slow because she's a little bit slower walking. This way, she's in the carriage. I am just hustling down the room. I'm going room to room, sticking my head in, seeing if anybody wants to see the dog. And then we move on. So it sped up the process a lot. So that was pretty good. But anyways, welcome to those that have just, I can't speak. Welcome to everyone that has just joined us. Welcome, welcome. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm not sure if you're watching on Facebook, or I'm also streaming on YouTube. So either way, welcome everyone. We're going to get started, and because I don't want to hold everybody up, it's lunch hour, and I've got a cute little folding box, a box that will lay flat. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Now, and then when I get done with the box, I am going to show you, which I didn't do Tuesday night. I'm going to just take about 8 to 10 minutes on Paper Pumpkin and show you what I did in alternatives. So just in case you're on the fence about Paper Pumpkin. So one thing, I just want to remind everybody that we are still in our bonus days, and this will run through the 31st of July. So for every $50 you spend, you're going to get a $5 coupon from Stampin' Up. Save that in an email, into a folder or whatever, and then those can be redeemed in the month of August. If you lose your coupon, then too bad, too sad. They're not keeping copies of everything. So I would encourage you to put it in a folder or keep it in your email and don't delete it. Easy, probably easier to put it in a folder. So anyways, that's that. And then, so let's get started. Now, I am going to work, and I know you all have seen this, the zinnia, flowering zinnias, and I'm sure you all have seen this paper and cards that are designed with it. Now, I've bought a couple of the papers, but I did not buy the stamp set for this, but, you know, paper is always good to have for making cards. So you can use your sentiments and everything and just let the paper do the talking, right? So we're going to use one of the sheets of this to make our box. And let me show you. Let me just show you, if you haven't seen, let me just pull this out real quick, and I'm gonna just briefly run through and show you the pages. You get 2 of each of 6, so you get 12 sheets. So this is one set, and I just got that, so I've only used 1 sheet. Oops, let me pull this out, sorry. This is the back side of this one, and then this is the next 2 sheets, and this has a lemon lime twist on the back side. Isn't that pretty? I love these colors. And then here's one. This is one that we're using, and the back side is Flirty Flamingo. And then here's one which is really pretty. It's dark, and it's got like the stamped images of the different flowers. And then this is the back part. I think this is Melon Mambo with red. Look at this if you want some really green leaves. Isn't that gorgeous? And then the back side has some stripes, and I think this is Mossy Meadow and Granny Apple Green. No, yes, I think it's Granny Apple Green. No, Lemon Lime Twist. Sorry. And then this one is really pretty because it's got the white background, and you get 2 of those, and then it's got the purple little checks or squares. So that's the paper pack, 12 sheets for $12.50. So it's gorgeous, gorgeous paper, so I would encourage you to purchase this if you don't have enough paper on hand. All right, so this is the box set we're going to make. Now, I'm going to give you, and I hope you have if you have a Stampin' Up! Trimmer, this will be easy because we're going to do this in centimeters. It's just easier for the I got this from a lady in, I think she's in the UK, the Stampin' the Ottawa, or yeah, I think it's Stampin' the Ottawa. Oh, created the Ottawa. But she did it in centimeters because one of them is slightly off, you know, just for it to work out, it's just a little bit easier. So if you don't, then just ask Siri to convert whatever I give you in centimeters to, centimeters to inches, and she should be able to do that for you. All right. This is the little box, and it's got a flap on the side. Isn't this cute? And then we open it up, and look, you can put look, it's a bag. And this folds flat if you want to mail it. So look at that. I mean, if you want to mail it to somebody and have them put it together, or you can fill it up, and look how big it is. I mean, here is a Tombow glue, so you can see how much room. So you could put some candy, you could put some nail polish, necklaces, jewelry, probably little small maybe votive candles in here. You can do all sorts of things. And we're going to use Velcro dots to hold them in place. And then we're just going to fold it over, and you can decorate the box any way that you want. I just put the little strip on the side. Now I will show you that to be careful, because when I laid my DSP down, it's sticking out just a little bit right here that you can see. I don't know if you can see it enough, but it's sticking out just enough that you can see it. Not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about it. But if you're a perfectionist, then just make sure when you lay it flat on the cardstock that you make sure that you've got both sides lined up before you glue it down. Okay? All right, so this is what we're going to make, so let's get started. I'm going to set that right here over top of my July host code. Okay, so I am also using the textured floral bundle, and if I'm not mistaken, and I'll confirm this, but I think last week this was on back order or whatever. So just be careful. I bought this last year and I didn't really like the way that it's stamped, but I've kind of gotten used to it. It's got 14 photopolymer stamps, and then there's 13 dies that will cut out the different size flowers, and then you've got all sorts of different leaf images and things that you can stamp out as well. So this is textured floral. That's what I'm working, and we're going to be using the Birthday Bloom stamp set. Now some of this I've already pre-stamped because I pre-cut everything. All right, so let's get started. You're going to start with, let me get my paper trimmer. Let's do the cardstock first. We're going to use real red, and this is 8.5 by 11, but we're going to cut it down. All right, so we need to, when having the 8.5 at the top, now keep in mind what I'm giving you on measurements is going to be centimeters. And the nice thing about Stampin' Up's trimmer is these lines up here, this is your centimeters up top, and then here's the inches right down here. So the larger squares or rectangles here are your inches, and then these are your centimeters. So if you have the ability to get them printed out, you could print out the centimeters and just tape it somewhere on your paper trimmer if needed. All right, so we're going to start, and our cover with the 8.5 at the top, we're going to score. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. We're going to cut. Sorry, we're going to cut first. All right, so I'm moving it over to 15.2 centimeters. So there is a 15 mark, and then you just want to count the smaller lines. Just go over 2. All right, so 15.2 centimeters, and we are going to cut so we can get this to make our box. And now we're going to turn it to 22.2. So we're going to bring it over, and I've got 22 right here. And then again, I'm going to move it to 2 inches. Let me zoom in just a little bit so y'all can see this. Hang on, let me move this over just a tad. So again, if you can see that, I've got the 22 right here, and then I'm going to move it over the 2 lines to get it 22.2. Hi, Patty G from Maryland. We are making a cute little box, and I'll show you in just a minute. And I'm giving you centimeters because the box, you just need a little smidge shorter than inches. So we're cutting an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock with the 8.5 at the top. You're going to cut it at 15.2 centimeters. And now we've turned it, and we're now going to cut it at 22.2 centimeters. So I'm just moving it to the 22.2, and then I'm going to cut this down. Okay, so now we've got some scraps we'll keep for later. Now the next thing we're going to do is, keeping it on the long side, we're going to score this at 5.1. So again, I'm doing centimeters, so we're going to move it to the 5 and just move it over 1 line, and we're going to score that, okay? And then we're going to move that down to 10.2. So I've got 10, and then I'm going to go over 2 of those little tick marks. And whoops, 1, 2. I want to make sure we got that even. All right, so we've got 10.2. We're going to score that. And we're going to move it down to 15.2. So 15 is right before the 6 inch. And then move your 2 over. And so 15.2 centimeters. And then we're going to slide it down to 20.3. So you want to get to that 20 centimeter mark and move over 1, 2, 3 of those little lines. And we're going to make, this is going to be our little flap, okay? So that's all we need to do on this piece. Now, for those that are just joining, this is the box that we're going to make. And then you open it up, and there's a bag, but you're going to, let me zoom out. Hang on. Let me go, yeah, out. Hang on, people. I'll get you out of there. And then when you open it, it folds flat, so you can actually make it, and then you pop it up, and then you can either send it flat or mail it in a box, and then fill it with whatever. Okay, so that's what we're making for those that just joined. Okay, so now we're going to take our designer paper, and our designer paper is going to be 15 centimeters, and I think this is cut. I think we can get 2 out of one piece of 12 by 12. So I'm going to make sure we're at 15, hang on. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, no, we're right, never mind. 15 centimeters even, so let me make sure I'm at 15. All right, so so we need to cut this down just a little bit. So I'm at the 15 centimeter mark right there. So I do want to cut this down. Oops. All right, we're just going to trim a little tiny bit off of that. All right, that's probably going to go trash. And then we're going to turn this, and we want it at 25 centimeters. Okay, so we're going to slide this over to 25, and then we're going to cut that at 25 and keep this little piece because we're going to use part of that. Okay, and then we're going to, while the long side is up here, we're going to do some scoring. So we're going to score at 5 centimeters on each end. Now, so I'm just going to do it the easy way. So we're going to line this up to 5 centimeters, which is right there. See how it's just a hair below 2 inches. So the 5 centimeters, we're going to score that. And then I'm just going to flip my designer paper around and do the 5 centimeters again. That just makes it a little bit easier, okay? So we'll just score. And that's all the scoring we need to do. Okay, so now we're going to move this out of the way for the moment. And I'll come back in a few minutes and we'll make another cut. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to work with our designer paper first. So let's go ahead and fold the places that we did. All right, so that's how our box is going to start. Let me make sure if I got the camera. Let me hang on so I can see. And I've got lights on, so hopefully y'all can see this here. All right, so this is how the base is going to start out on making our inside of the box, okay? All right, so the next thing that we need to do is we're going to take our corners and hang on a minute. Did I miss something? Hang on. Let me make sure I didn't miss a score. Line up the top, 5 at each end. Oh, hold on. Turn this short. Oh, sorry, we got one more score to do. Oopsie, I forgot. I was missing my notes. Sorry. I thought something looked a little strange. We got to do another score. Okay, so after we did our 5 centimeters on each end this way, we're going to turn it. Okay, so the short end's at the top. Sorry about that. And we're going to score at 5 centimeters and 10. Okay, sorry. All right, so we're going to come back to our 5 centimeter mark. And we're going to line that up and we're going to score. Whoops, hang on. Let me move my paper trimmer out of the way. We don't want to cut that. All right, so we're lined up at the 5 centimeter. So we're going to score that, and then we're going to move this down to the 10 centimeter. And we're going to score that. Okay, so it's right just like a hair from the 4 inches. So I'm at 10 right there, and we're going to score. Okay, that's going to help do what we need to do. All right, now we're good. Now let's go ahead and fold these score lines in, and we're going to fold this one up. All right. Now, if you have a little bit, okay, and it's fine if it goes over a little bit because actually the box, when we attach it, it's going to go like this. Okay. Now, our 4 corners, we want to score a diagonal. Okay, so we want to score a diagonal. And you can use your bone folder, a stylus, your pick your tool thing, and a ruler. You can use a block, a clear block, whatever's easier for you. So you want to come from the inside corner. So we want to start here, and we want to go up to this top corner up here. All right, and the reason we're doing that, see how this folds? I'm going to just open this up. See how this we're going to glue down. And then when we fold it, it's going to fold up like that, okay, just so those that are visual. So we're going to glue that down. This piece is going to fold, okay? All right, so we're going to take, and I'm going to put my stylus, and I'm using the smaller point. Let me zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to line up my point right here, and I want to go to that corner, the outside, right? So you want to try to get it as accurate as you can, right? But if you don't, it's okay. It's not a big deal. So we're just going to pull that down and give it a nice score line in that corner. And we're going to do that to all 4 corners. And I know it's kind of hard to see. All right, so we're going to come in and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make these corners, so we're going to come from the outside or the inside corner down to the outside corner. Okay, so we're going to come right here to the corner where it folds, and then we're just going to bring this down and do a score line. All right, so we'll do that to all 4 of these. It really is a very simple box, but it's different. And once you make one, you're going to go, oh my gosh, this thing is so easy. So you just make sure that if your paper trimmer does not have centimeters, then you want to ask Siri, because you know Siri knows everything, right? So again, I'm going to put my stylus right here in that corner, and then I'm going to press down because I want to see where my corner is, and I'm going to line it up to go right up here to that, and there we go. Oops, that's off just a tad. That's right. Sometimes when you're doing with the bigger stylus. Okay, so now we have that. So we're going to push these corners in, and you're going to have to kind of force it, you know. So we want to bend them towards the inside, okay? And I'm going to zoom out now so that, whoops, not that far in. Hang on, sorry about that. I don't want to get so close that you can't see. All right, so I'm going to fold these in, and you just take your time and get them folded. All right, so we get the things folded, and then we're going to bend our corners in like that and give it a good crease, and we'll go back and do that once we get all these done. So we're going to do the same thing on each corner. So we want to just take a little bit of time. We've got to get our score lines manipulated, right, so we can get it to fold. And this one I did 2, so it's going to take me just a second because I had one that was a little bit off. There we go. And then I'll come back and then tell you what the next step's going to be. Okay, so we want to get that there. And then what you'll see, what we're going to do is see how that's going to fold, and then it's going to fold in just like that. So we're going to take it, and it's going to fold in. That's going to be when we close our box. So this piece here is what we'll glue down, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and do our other corners. And we just take our time, just kind of make sure you get your, use your thumbnails or whatever. You can probably push down harder, just don't rip your paper, to get that score line going from the inside corner to the outside. And I'm just going to bend my paper a little bit so I can get to that. All right, so we got that. All right, and then we're going to come down to the last corner, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to manipulate it. See, if you push a little bit harder, it folds much easier. All right, so we're just going to fold that in, make sure we've got it. And we just want to make sure we just take our time for our box and get that folded. Okay. And sometimes it wants to do it has a mind of its own, right? So we just want to get that folded. So then we can just come back with our bone folder, and we'll just go back and make sure we give those creases a good crease to get it so it lays flatter, okay? So we're just going to go around to the 4 corners, and we'll do that again. Now mine, you can see it's off a little bit there. It could be the way I scored it or cut it, but we'll fix it if it needs to be fixed. And let me do this one. I think I already did that one, and then I know this one needs to be done. Whoopsie! This looks like, those trays that you buy that kind of look like they're like this. You know how they're folded up, but this is on the outside, so ours is going to be on the inside, right? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put adhesive here, and we're going to line this up and just glue down that outside corner, okay? So just put your adhesive. Is everybody doing all right? Okay. So let me get my glue going. I started it earlier, so hang on. All right, so we'll just add some glue. Hold on a minute. Let me squeeze some out on this daggone thing. I keep forgetting to put a little push pin in it to hold it. There we go. We'll get some in here. All right, so we just want to stay within the insides of our score line, and we're just going to push that down. Make sure that it's lined up here on the edge, and then just push that down and just hold it for a second. All right, and then this one, we're going to do the same thing. So it's going to be the inside of this one that we're going to glue. Has any of y'all ever seen or made this box before? All right, so we're going to glue that down. I'm going to make sure my top edges are even, and they are. It's a miracle. All right, so far we got 2 corners. All right, we're going to come back, and now we're going to do this one here, and bear with me. Sorry about that. It's just I just don't want to bend it but so much. So let's just put our adhesive on here. All right. You probably want to put enough, you know, not enough for it to ooze out, but you want to put enough so that when this thing's opening and closing, it's doing it, you know, it's not going to come apart. All right, so we're just going to hold that down for a minute. And then you can always go back with your bone folder afterwards and just give it some good pressure. And then we'll do the last edge here. And I'll hold it like this so you can see it's going to be the inside corner. Okay, so we're going to push that one down. And again, you want to make sure your edges are lined up here with your paper. And they are. All right. So let me just go back with the bone folder. We're just going to push these down, give them a good push. Okay, in the corners. All right, so there is how our box will open. Okay, it's going to be like this, sorry. So it's going to be laying flat, and then when you go to open it, it's going to open up just like that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we're going to put this off to the side for just a minute because now we got to work with our cardstock. So we've got these score lines that we did, so we just need to go in and give our score, you know, score our score lines. And I just feel for where the score, where we got the score lines, and then I just want to make sure that it's lined up. So I'll go in with my bone folder and give it a good score. And then I flip it this way, just easier for me. And if you're just joining us, I do not have written instructions, so you can go back and take notes. These measurements are in centimeters, so hopefully you have a Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. If you do, then that's good because Stampin' Up! Has the centimeters listed on the top and the bottom of our paper cutter. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, which I could have done before we started, but I'm going to cut a strip of paper, a strip from this designer paper. Actually, I had an extra piece, but I'll just use this one. And I'm going to measure. So my flap right here is going to be the top of the box, okay? So my flap is 1 3/4. So I'm going to do a 1/2 inch. All right, so I'm just going to cut a 1/2 inch of this, and we're just gonna, you can decorate the top of your box however you want. I am going to decorate it with just a flap, and I'm doing the flap because we're going to use Velcro dots to hold it in place. Now you can use magnets. I was going to use the magnets, and I'll tell you how you can do it with magnets. You want to order, oops, sorry, I didn't have enough to do both, but if you want to do the magnets, oops, hang on. You can go on Amazon and order 3/8 inch. So it's 0.375 is the size that you need. Now, one thing also to save your magnets is order the same size washers. And then I'll show you, I'm going to use Velcro dots, but if you'd rather use magnets, I'll show you how to put those on there and how to adhere them and all that, okay? All right. So here is our box, and this is our flap. That's going to be the top of our box, okay? Now, I'm not going to adhere anything to this yet because we're going to add our, well, I guess I could, because the glue dots are going to, my Velcro dots are going to go on the inside. And then my Velcro dots, the only difference with this and the magnets, I'm putting the Velcro dots on the outside only because that's how it's going to have to close, right? But if you do your magnets, you want the magnets in here. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add this strip up here because it's already cut and we don't need to do anything with that. So I'm going to go ahead and add that and get that out of the way because that's not going to hurt anything. So let's do that. And then we'll add our Velcro. Well, we'll do our Velcro last. I think we can do that. All right, so this is going to go here. This is a 1/2 inch. And you could make it probably 5/8 of an inch. You could go a little bit wider if you wanted, but that's fine. I'm okay with this. All right, so that's going to be on our flap that's going to close. Now, when we get ready to do the box, and we'll go ahead and do this, you're going to lay it like this, okay? You're going to come down from the flap down to the next score line, and you want it just below that score line, like a 1/16 of an inch, not much. You just don't want it touching the score line. You want to make sure you got your sides lined up. You're going to have a very small border, not much at all, but you don't do what I did and I had this one hanging over. Okay, so you want to do that, and then at the bottom, I'm gonna pull this up here because this one's not level. All right, then at the bottom you're gonna have a slightly little bit of a trim, right? All right, now if you were doing magnets, what you would do is close your box, figure out where you want to put your magnets before you put your paper on here. Draw a mark on the thing so that you know where they need to go, and then that will tell you where they need to go. Okay, so let's just say I'm putting magnets and I want one here and one here. So what I'll do is tear a piece of tear and tape and lay that down first for each of the magnets, and then I'm going to put my magnet on top, one magnet on top of the tear and tape on each one, right? And then I'm going to cover it again with a piece of tear and tape because I want that to hold my magnet together so when we're pulling it up open, it doesn't pull it off. So we're going to put another piece of tear and tape on top of each magnet and pull that off as well. So then when we go to close it, it's going to attach to the designer paper. Okay, does that make sense? And then once you have those magnets on there, then all you need to do is close your box, and you'll know where you need to put your, again, you're not going to have this paper on here. Then you'll lay your magnet on here, or the washer, and draw a little, in between the circle, draw a little dot, pencil dot on each side, and that's where you'll do the same thing. You'll do it on the inside of the flap, and you're going to do a little pencil dot because you'll know where it goes. Put your piece of tear and tape, washer, tear and tape, washer, and then cover with tear and tape. That way, when you go to close it, you'll have your paper on here, and your magnets are going to be connecting. Well, you don't want to tear off the tear and tape. I apologize. You don't want to do that because that you don't want to. You don't want to tear off the top of the tear and tape because that's going to attach it, and we don't want it glued down. But just leave the paper on there. That way, when you close it, it's going to automatically adhere. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, but we're not using magnets, so we're going to come in, and I know I need to have this layered here. So I'm going to take my glue, my Tombow, and I'm using Tombow because it moves. So once we get this on here, we can shift our paper down. And I just want to come down the edges all the way to the bottom. Well, not all the way. You want to leave that little, because you're going to have a little space there, right? So we just want to go up the sides a little bit. And then we just want to make sure we've got glue all on the insides of our piece. So this is where we're going to attach the inside folding box piece. So we're just going to make a bunch of scribbles with glue. Make sure we got it on there so it would adhere. Okay. And I think we'll be good. I don't think we need to put a lot on the sides because it's gonna hold it. All right. So now we're going to come back in, And we're going to lay this, start at the top. So don't lay down the paper. Just hold it up. Lay it up almost to that score line. You want to get it right below it, just like a hair too. Move over on your cardstock to make sure it's not over the edges. Looks like it's good. Push up a little, and then we can start folding down. I can see that I'm good on the edges. This one I need to pull over because I've got a little bit more on this side. So I can see I've got a little right below my score line. And then I've got a little bit of the edge there, and then I have a small edge right here, and then just lay it down and it adheres. And then there's our box. And it just folded up. You just give it a good push to get it started. And there's our box. And then you just close it up, and you're good to go after we put our stuff on there, okay? So the next thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add my, I'm doing my, whatever you call these things. What are they? My, I've just lost my brain. What are these? Velcro dots. Good Lord. All right, so I know I'm just going to pick a spot where I think I want my flap to go. So I'm just going to close it, okay? And I see I'm going to put one right up here on the flap, or you can stick it on the bottom. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put one right here. Now, I've already got them attached, the Velcro glue dots. I've already have those attached. And then I'm just going to come over here and try to place it somewhere, you know, in the general area on this side so it will close. All right, and then I'm going to come down and I'm going to fold my box over. Make sure you don't attach it until you get it right in the position where the box needs to be, and get it squared up. And I think that's good. We've got it lined up on the thing, and we're just going to push this down. Make sure it's nice and even. Push that down. And then I'm going to reach over here, and I'm just going to put my fingers right here, push down on it so that they attach. Well, that's not working. I should have done it the other way. Hang on. We're going to do it this way. All right, that's going to attach there. There we go. And we're going to get this in here. I should have put them on the back side because then I could stick my fingers in there. But we're going to get it to attach. Hold on. Get in there, Mama. All right. All right, let me see. I got the stickies there. All right, hang on. Let me take this one off because it's, hang on a second. We're going to put it at the bottom to make it a lot easier because I can then hold it. So we're going to put that right about here. And we'll move this one. I'm making it more difficult, right? I'll just peel that off just a tad and put it right about there. All right, there we go. Let's get this guy. Make sure he's centered. My top of the Velcro. Hold on. There we go. Put him right there. All right, now I can close it, and then I can use my fingers to help. Okay, there we go. That'd be a lot easier. All right. Okay, I think we're good. Now we can push on it. There we go. I can feel him. I can feel him. All right, come on. All right, so there's our box, and then all we have to do now is, this one doesn't want to stick. So, all right, let's try it this way. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to stick my fingers in here and get it to close. Sorry, guys. It's normally not this difficult, and I'm making it look like it's harder than it is. I'm going to move my fingers, so I know it needs to go down right about here. So I'm going to stick my fingers and get this one attached. I'm going to push him in there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Then I'll come back and attach them with my fingers. So I'll push them down. Well, this is not looking like I know what I'm doing, does it? All right, hang on. I think I've grabbed them a couple of times and they're not, the stickiness might have come off some. There we go. I can just get my fingers in there and give it a good push. All right, I think I got that one. There we go. And I think I'm going to get this one too. Hang on. I'm just going to pop this out just enough to get my finger in there. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's our box. All right, so we got that on there. And then all we have to do now is decorate. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. I'm just going to flip it over this way and lay it down on the table. And let me see if I can get my bone folder in there to give it a good press. That will work. Get on now, Mama. Okay. There we go. That's better. That way now it's attached. Now it's attached. There we go. Well, this one's not. This one doesn't want to cooperate. Hang on. this one, we're just going to stick him right. Hang on, I got him on my thumb. I'm eyeballing where he goes. There we go. We got both of those. See, these aren't, there we go. Now it's stuck. There we go. All right, now it's locked. Nothing like struggling with my box here. That's not, makes it look like I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm having a sweat attack in here. All right, so the next thing we'll do, you can decorate however you want. You can put ribbon around it. You can decorate the top with designer paper, however you want to do it. I'm just going to do very simple. So I've got the sentiment already stamped, and I've cut out some leaves from that stamp set. And what I did is I'm going to trim up some of the green leaves and attach behind the flowers. And then these I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. But in the meantime, I'm going to put some seal on the backs of my flowers so that I can get my stems, my leaves, to hold to them. So I'm just going to put seal all around near the back edges so that I can get that the leaves to adhere. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to trim out some of the leaves. I know the struggle bus is a real pain, but you know what? Y'all can see that, you know, I make mistakes and I struggle too, and it's okay because that's just how we learn, right? And I don't mind being the guinea pig. So I'm just going to cut some of these out off of the stem, and we're going to use these to put behind our flower. And we're not going to cut them too big because we don't want, some of these are like little tiny things. Okay, so on the smaller flower, I'm going to go with the smaller leaf. So I'm going to flip this over, and I did this one in real red, and I'm just going to attach the leaf just to the back, just somewhere in the back. It doesn't matter where it goes, wherever you feel like you want to put it. And then I've got a, whoopsie, then I have another little tiny piece that I will attach. If I can grab it. Sometimes it's easier to just lay it down on your pad, right? Flip it over so we have, because we want the right side to show. And I'm just placing them. I don't know, I'm just adding them, okay? So there's one, and I could add another one. I think I will put one up at the top. So let's put this one, let's see. Let's just cut, I gotta do something for the big flower. Let's just do, See, this is where you have to get you become indecisive on how you're supposed to do it, what you should do. Cut that little thing off. I'm just gonna pop these, I'm gonna cut this one off. I'm just gonna pop this down. I think I'm gonna put it right under here just so a little bit of the leaf shows. Put that piece off, and hang on a minute. This is where you probably tweezers would come in handy. I don't know if I need that or not. Well, let's put another one here. We'll just add it over here. So that way it kind of all blends together. Okay, so we're gonna put that like that, and then we're gonna add a dimensional in the center. And I'll do that in just a second. Let me get the other one. All right, so this is the bigger one. So I've got some bigger, and I did this in Blackberry Bliss, and I stamped the inside in Lemon Lolly, the little thing. So I'm just gonna take and cover that inside. I'm gonna put that one there. And this one, because it's a bigger flower, I'm just making these a little bit bigger to attach them so they'll stand out. And I'm trying to get them like in between. All right, so there we go. All right, and then let's do one more. Let's put another little clump of, let's just trim off the top of this one. We'll trim this one off, and let's add that. Let's see, do we want it down here, or should we add it to this? Let's put it right up here. Let's put it right about there. How's that? Does that look right? I don't know if that looks right or not, but, well, maybe we should move it over here, make it look a little bit more clumpy. All right, let's do that. We'll put that there. Okay, so now I'm going to add my glue dots. Oops, I'm sorry, my dimensionals, pardon me. And we've got one here, and I'm just going to put one. I don't think we need any more than that. And put one right there. And I'm going to place the big one I'm going to put that off to the left-hand side. Let me look at my box and see what I did. Yeah. I'm going to put the big one over here. So let's bring the box back in. So I'm going to place this one right about here. Whoops. Come on, baby. I'm going to place that one right about there. All right, and then my sentiment, I just stamped it in real red and cut it out on a scrap of white. I'm just going to add adhesive to this. I'm not going to pop this up. And then I'm going to take that little flower and add it over the bottom corner. So I'm going to add this to the top, and I'm going to place it I'm going to do it a little bit at an angle so it doesn't look so straight. And I'm going to place that right about there. And our box is long enough so you could add more flowers or decorations if you choose leaves or whatever. And then this guy, I'm just going to put him, I guess I'll put it right. Let me see which way. No, that looks like it's upside down. And I'm just going to put that one right about there. Let's do it like that. All right, there we go. All right, so there is our box. Isn't that cute? Even though you saw me struggling with my Velcro dots. Good Lord. All right, so then all we have to do is open the box, lay it down, and then they get their gift inside. Isn't that cute? And then it lays flat. If you choose to, you can mail it that way and tell them all they got to do is, if somebody wants a gift box, and then you can mail it to them. And then all they have to do is close it up, put their goodies in it, close it up. So there we go. There is our box with designer paper on the inside. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hi from Idaho. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Let me show you real quick. Okay, so this is the box that we did. Again, everything is in centimeters. So if you just joined or came afterwards, just make sure you watch the recording. And you can get these dimensions as I go through and put the box together. Now, I did want to show you, because I talked about it Tuesday night, about using paper pumpkin. I just want to show you what you can do. So those of you who are not familiar with paper pumpkin, it is a subscription, a monthly subscription, and you can stop and start it anytime you want. I think it runs about $24 a month, US dollars, which includes the shipping. So every month you get a kit. It's an all-inclusive kit. So you get the materials to make 8 or 9 cards. We don't know what we're getting, so it's a big surprise. So in this case, this is May 24, and this one we are making 9 cards, and these are the 3 different designs that they, for the kit, is how they show you to use the materials. And then you have envelopes that coordinate. Well, sometimes we don't want to make what the kit says, right? So we want to make something different. So let me just show you what I did. Here is this is what the stamp said. Now this came in May, obviously, for Father's Day, but you got trees, you've got some nice sentiments here. You got 3 sentiments and then 2 trees and some little dirt stuff. All right, so that's a photopolymer stamp. The first time you purchase the pumpkin, you will automatically get a clear block with it, and that will fit all the stamps going forward. Okay, so with that being said, this is what they recommended for the kit. Now let me show you what I did with making alternatives. So I took and also you get an ink spot, and the ink spot changes from each month. So this one happens to be Misty Moonlight. All right, so I took this card base, and then I took this piece here, and then I folded my card, and then I just put some of the pieces inside the kit in here and glued them down, and then stamped my sentiment. All of this is included, so everything here has been included, and this is part of the stamp set as well. And then I just cut these little guys in half and placed them at the top and the bottom, and I folded the card. Just fold it. You can fold it this way and then fold it back in half to get you to make that fun fold. Okay, so that's one version that I did. And here's the same thing. I just didn't put as many, and I put a little leaf there, a little leaf from one of the things that I cut off. And then this one I just put the wild wheat underneath. Okay, so that's that. And then here's one that the cardstock, you can do it either way. You can do it this way or the other way. This is landscape. I just took the paper, and this coordinates with that countryside country wood paper. I took one of the circles and stamped the trees on it, and then this comes in the kit, and this comes in the kit. I just added this retired twine and stamped the sentiment. So I just popped this up on dimensionals, and this is on dimensionals as well. And then this is the same thing. The only difference I did, this one I put the blue underneath my sentiment, sorry. And then this one I laid it, the sentiment, and then put the blue on top. I didn't like that one, so I did the second one. All right, now this one is another one. This one I used our Shy Shamrock, and I cut a piece just over the size of the piece here as a border. Cut out, I stamped a leaf from one of my leaf sets, this stamp set, and then opened it up, and then the extra leaves I stamped, I put that underneath, and then I used the sentiment from, oh Lord, I can't remember what the stamp set is, but I just used one of my sentiments. So there's another way that you can use the material. If you don't like what Stampin' Up! Has designed, you can kind of come up with your own idea. And I got two more. All right, so here's one. This is pretty basic, but it's really cute. This is taking a piece of basic white. Now this one, you're gonna, instead of cutting it at 8.5 by 5.5, you're gonna cut it at 9.5 by 5.5, and you're gonna score an inch. And that's what this is right here. You're gonna fold it over. And then these are pieces that were in the kit. So I just cut them and tucked them under before I glued the, I wanted it to look like a pocket. And before I glued this down, I kind of placed them, and then I wanted to pull the leaf out to give it a little bit more dimension. I glued those down, pulled my leaf out, and then I glued this down on top, and then I just added some other paper pumpkin embellishments that I had left over from another kit. Stamped this sentiment on the front, and then of course the white inside is left blank. So there's another way you can make a very simple card. And then the last one I thought was really cute, and these I copied from Rachel Tessman. This one I used some watercolor paper and Very Vanilla, and then what I did is I just took each of our end colors and I blended just each end color. So there's 5 colors on here, and I just blended them to the depth of color that I wanted. And then I cut out this actually is one of the circle that has the trees on this side. I just flipped it over and used the back side, which is white. And then I stamped the trees in Misty Moonlight. And then I took a scrap when I trimmed this down, and I just stamped the Amazing, so it kind of coordinated. And again, cut some of the back stuff that they have given us and trimmed and just glued them behind it and popped this up on dimensionals. So this is something just to keep in mind if you're not familiar enough with paper pumpkin. These are some ideas that you can come up with, that you can make the contents different than what they initially had decided that you needed to do. So I just thought I'd throw that in there since I didn't get a chance to show you on Friday. All right, so with that being said, let me move these out of the way. And I'm going to pull back the item that we actually came here to make today, which is our box. And so here's the box that I made today, and then here's my initial ones. I just flipped the colors. So there you go. I hope you all enjoyed this creative box. I thought it was really neat. Folds flat, and what a great, and it's big enough you can put all sorts of stuff in here. So, and then we just use our Velcro dots, or get your magnets. All right, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for spending your Friday afternoon with me. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget, we are in bonus days, so every $50 you spend, you can receive a $5 coupon, and you can use this host code through my online shopping store if you're not working with a current demonstrator. And if you haven't signed up for my newsletter list, I do put tutorials in there that are not provided outside. So there's a link below the video on both YouTube and Facebook. You can sign up and join my newsletter. All right, everybody, thank you again. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Thank you. Have a great weekend.